Yo, what is up, Tiger Wings? It's your boy Tiger here, and I probably sound a little messed up. I don't know where I was going with the intro. Anyways, today we're going to be doing something different. We're not going to be playing a game. We're going to be doing a tier list. Now, I think I did one tier list before, and it was the Pride tier list. This tier list is going to be for Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadron. Now, I was going to wait a little bit more for the tier list, like probably like a week or something before Boo came out, or like 10 days before Boo came out. The pure form, not the fat one. But I was like, you know what? After playing a lot of Super Saiyan God Vegeta and having an understanding of the game, or like, you know, for this season and whatnot, I just decided, you know, let's just go for it. And then whenever Majin Buu comes out, I'll wait like a week or two, and then I'll do another one, or not another one, but like I'll give my thoughts about, you know, where to put them. There is a bunch of ads here. Editor, cover the ads up with the, you know, the best you can. Now, right here, it is pretty simple. We have Z tier, S, A, B, C, and D. Z tier being the very best, and D just being doo-doo water. So that's what we're working with. I know I'm taking a little bit too long, but just know this is my opinion. This is what I think the characters are. So, enough said. Let's start off with Z tier, and let's go with my baby girl, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla. She did get a nerf recently, her and Bardock, but I don't think they matter. She's still fast, she's still strong, she's still annoying to deal with. If you have no way to touch her, you will not be touching her. She touches you. So I think she's like one of the best DPSs to go for. If you really want to buy a character, or like if you're grinding out the hero memories and you're like, oh, who should I get? Kefla, it's like she is so brain dead easy. You go in, you deal damage, and you get out. She is like the best with tanks. You can go with techs, but I think tanks is just the best way to go, because you know they live for longer, and like Bardock or Vegeta, they pull in the enemies, giving you a chance to breathe, because she is very squishy. She doesn't have as much health, but she just does too much damage to ignore, especially her ult, her attacks, like little by little, decreasing the cooldown for like the vanishing step. It is crazy. She is still a strong character. One of the, maybe I'm being a little bit too biased, but she is a Z tier. She is the best of the best. And right next to her, I did bring him up, we have Super Saiyan God Vegeta. He is insane. Like, no joke, he is almost unkillable. He could easily do 1v2s by himself. I've done it. I've seen people do it. Even when I've picked DPS or whatever and I try to go against them, I'm like, this is what people feel like. This is what I do to people when I play Vegeta. Vegeta's kit is crazy. Being able to steal the opponent's attack. I used to run Snowball with him, but with that I was like, why? I don't need to. He is like his own Snowball. His skill 2, like pulling them in forcibly and having insane radius at like level 3. His skill 3, stopping opponents from running away, just locking them into place. So like if you're like, it happened when Kefla's trying to run away, but I just catch her, and then skill 2, and then meter. When meter fills up, insane armor regeneration. It's not gradually over time, it's just like it's crazy how fast you could be at a sliver of health, enemy side, they go in and heal and then go fight you, and chances are you're gonna win. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. He is crazy when it comes to being a tank. He is a tank in terms of like actual tank, making sure that he's in a fight and like his other teammates are behind them, dealing damage from range or whatever. But he's also like secretly a DPS. He deals crazy amount of damage. So I'm gonna put him right there in Z tier. He's like one of the best tanks, and right next to him is Bardock. Bardock was Z tier when he was introduced, and he still is to this day. More people have shifted into Super Saiyan God Vegeta, but Bardock is still insane. Having the, I think it was a Rebels Guard or whatever, You know, the meter that fills up and it deals less damage. His skill 2 isn't the best. Oh no, I lied. His skill 2 is still crazy. Being able to pull them in immediately. I like Super Saiyan God's Vegeta skill 2 because you can move. You can move, you could vanish step, you could like, and I think it combos into ult. So like, but that doesn't downplay Bardock. That doesn't downplay Bardock of who he is as of a character. He is, well, I wouldn't say he's super crazy in damage. He can still do damage, but he is still an amazing tank. So he is up there in Z tier. I know I spent more time with God Vegeta because I've played more with him than I have with Bardock, but you know, if I didn't have Vegeta or whatever, Bardock would be, and probably still is, one of the best tanks right there. I know it kind of fucked up, but these aren't like in any type of order. Like, it's up to you to depend, like, to headcanon on who is the best in like the tier list. Like, if you think God Vegeta is better than Kefla, or like Kefla's like, I don't know, maybe she got nerfed a little bit. You know, you think she's on the weaker side because, you know, Vegeta and Bardock really do mess her up. But like, I'm just putting them right here, okay? For Z tier, yeah, honestly, yeah, Sun God Goku, whatever. He's really good. When he came out, he was like A tier. He was like S tier. But I think he just got buffed, or I think it's just people like found a way to flow state with him. Like, after playing with them for a while, they were like, oh, okay, I know how this character works. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Sometimes it takes like a couple of matches to understand your character. That way you can have better positioning, better gameplay, helping out your teammates, when to go in, when to disengage. But him having crazy range with his finger shot, or yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. I don't know, I forgot what the move is called. And then having the red dragon, and again, just like Super Saiyan God Vegeta, having the meter, it is crazy. I know I didn't talk about their ult. I did talk about Kefla's, but Super Saiyan God Goku's ult it feels strong. Being able to hit anywhere from the map at level 3, you could be at base and go hit the dragon shell. Yeah, he has a crazy ult. All of his abilities being like super long range, just snipe him out. It's very hard to deal with him because if you have a good tank or just someone to distract, it's very hard because Goku will chip at you, and it feels like Dabra or Broly, or like these characters that are slow and they just can't get in. Like, it hurts. It really does hurt that you can't go in, because if you try to go in, I mean, they're already so far away, and then what's another vanishing step, and maybe they run the limit breaking jump one. Like, you can't go in. They're controlling the area. They're just hard controlling. So that's why I'm gonna put him in Z tier. Like, not only is he a DPS, but it kind of feels like a tech, the way you're technically keeping these motherfuckers away from you. I know I didn't talk about their ults. I'm gonna go in right just immediately. Bardock's ult was doo-doo in terms of damage, but it was a really good get off me tool, just pushing them away in like three hits, like doo, and pushing them far away. Recently got buffed and does like 3k now. Bardock did not need a buff. He needed a nerf. Super Saiyan God Vegeta being able to, again, combo from skill 3 to ult, or being able to ult from anywhere in the map with level 3, and just like, oh, like, let's say you're doing a team fight and then someone's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go and do a Gekishin burst. No, you, fuck you, bitch. So like, yeah, these characters are Z tier. Let me see if anybody else. Oh, you know what? Oob. I'd be confident enough to put Oob in Z tier. Oob is like, has been good since when he was okay, like, yeah, I would like to say that he's been good since the beginning. Maybe not as Z tier, maybe like A to S tier, but now I think he is Z tier. Having Cyclone, he's just like mini Kefla in a way, and Kefla's already annoying. So Oob, very squishy, and you know, kind of deserves to be squishy because he just does crazy insane damage with Cyclone from afar. So having a good tank, having someone that just pulls away the enemy or whatever, he is crazy. He's very good at chipping, whittling down, but not just that. Let's just talk about his ult. Just the beam that does instant damage. Not like Kefla, not like Vegeta's or Goku's or Bardock's, where it's like bursts, like do. No, it's just immediate damage. So if the enemy team is all huddled together, whether it's Bardock or Vegeta pulling them in, or the objectives, whether it's Nappa, Gekishin, Ribrianne, or Jacko, he just does the instant damage. You could go and snipe out the objectives to make sure you take it, or just crazy damage at the enemies to make sure like they're low. They're like, whoa, that's too much damage. I need to get out or else he's gonna get a squad wipe. Oob is a very, very good character, and if you have no way to get in, or even if you do have a way to get in, if his team or your team, you know, if you play Oob, they play Oob, doesn't matter. If they actually work and coordinate together, Oob is just a problem to deal with. All these characters are a problem, but I'm just saying, Oob, a very good character, especially being a free-to-play character. Very good, very good. It's up to, okay, I think this is D tier. I I don't want to maybe SSJ4 Vegeta could go in Z tier, but I think these 5 for sure Z tier. Because not everything can be Z tier. Like, yeah, all of these characters can be good, but there's just better characters. Like, why put time with Baby when you could put time with Bardock or Vegeta? Why play Dobro when you could play literally anybody fucking else? Like, you know? Why play... I don't know. I mean, like these characters are good. Why play Frieza when you could play anybody else? I think Frieza's weak. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, all of these characters are good, but there's just some that are better. And like I said, I think I'm just gonna confidently say that Kefla, Jeet, Sparta, Goku, and Oob deserve to be in Z tier right here. These are like my 5 Z tiers that I can say confidently belong there. Next, we have S tier. S tier is the worst of the best. They're still good. They're still meta, but they're not as crazy as these 5. And I think I'm just gonna go put their Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Yeah, he was crazy Z tier when he was introduced, being able to be a literal tank. Like, if I were to say who is the tank, like actual tank, that's their job is to tank, Vegeta. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta has a really good skill. I think it's skill 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. The one where he kicks them, and if you kick them into a wall, you like stun them, and then the one where you make the barrier. The one thing that I will say is Vegeta doesn't have as much DPS. This is why I call him a tank. He is very good at pushing away the enemy and protecting his teammates, and you know, yeah, he can stun them and do crazy damage, but DPS isn't for him. He's not a character you run Snowball with. You probably run the one where you like knock out 3 NPCs and up your defense. I forgot it was called, like Steel Skin and like Defensive Flash Stab. Vegeta for Super Saiyan 4 is just, you know, just a tank. He's not a DPS. He can do damage, but it's not his thing. He's more defending, staying back, or going to the front lines where you're gonna go rush in to make sure your team is being guarded. Again, there's nothing wrong with him. You can run him however you want to, but this is what I think about Vegeta. His ult isn't the best at taking objectives. It's actually really bad at doing that, but it's really good at if the enemy team tried to snipe him out and you see him at the corner of your eye, you just ult and push him back, and then barrier to push him again. They can't really flash step in. So this is what I want to put about Vegeta. He's S tier. He can heal. His healing capabilities isn't as crazy as Super Saiyan God Vegeta, but he's still a very solid pick, and if you picked him when he came out, he is still playable till this day. Next, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is he is the definition of Z tier. That's what he is. That's what he was. He was the Z tier poster child. He did insane damage, insane burst damage, being able to teleport. His ult did crazy damage. He is the DPS golden like trophy. Why isn't he in Z tier? Because he got nerfed. And nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed and nerfed. He got continuously nerfed over and over, and he still actually he got buffed like a couple of times. Like but like despite being nerfed heavy, he is still one of the best characters. No joke, he is still a good character to have a great content. He's very good at long range. He could go up close. That teleport Kamehameha. If you get nerfed this much and you could still play with all of these other characters that are up here and still be like sometimes on even terms, or even like even be on even turns, and or sometimes just straight up dominate. He is crazy good. He is an ultimate character. And you might be like, okay, then why is he Z tier? Well, because he got nerfed. That's it. If he didn't get nerfed, he would be Z tier. Like, he would be the one that I would say like number one. Right now, I don't know who's number one. Like, again, they're all good. They're all very nice to go, you know, to play as, but I wouldn't really know who to rank as the best. But Goku, I know I'll have you in S tier, but I'm willing to put you number one in S tier. He's still good. He's viable. He may not be a DPS character where you go in and kill, you know, like Kefla or like Broly here, but he does chip them down. He's very good at DPSing in terms of chipping down support. That's what he is now. He's just the support that does damage and gets out, and then someone else kills. Like, he may not get the most kills, but he's probably getting like very, very good damage on the enemies. But I'm gonna put Goku here in S tier. Yep. You know what? Okay. I'm kind of having troubles because I want to make sure I'm putting the right characters here. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I like this character. Topo Z tier. No, like, I'm just trying to actually think. So I was thinking, I put here Super Saiyan Goku, like the first Goku that we got here in S tier. Inclining on putting him A tier, but I've played with a bunch of Gokus. I had friends playing Gokus, or like the enemy team playing Gokus, or my teammates playing Goku. He feels solid. He really does. Like, I hope many people can agree. Maybe he's not high S tier, but he's definitely up there. Maybe, like I said, I was also inclining putting him in A tier, but I think this is a safe spot for me to put him in. Goku here is still doing crazy damage. When you started off playing Squadra and you didn't know who to pick, you'd pick Goku. And then when you pick Goku, you did Kaioken into whatever, and you shit on the team. And he still does that. Goku here, crazy. His Kaioken buffs his speed, buffs his damage, goes in, hammer, Kamehameha, Spirit Bomb, whatever. He gets the job done. Like, he's very good. Like, I don't know what to tell you. He got that dog in him. His ult at level 1 sucks. His ult at level 1 sucks ass. You are missing every single one. But his ult at level 3, insane radius. I don't know if you could Kaioken it, but like, because I haven't played Goku in forever, since like season 1, but he just still feels like a strong character. If you're someone who is very free to play, you don't really like spending money on this game, and I understand, that's fine. He is like the first character you get, and you can play Goku from the very beginning and shit on Kefla, and shit on Oob, and shit on Sun Go. Like you could go in, slap the shit out of them, and just like, that's what Goku is. He is the dude that spits on his hand and then slaps you. He's very good. He could go bottom lane, top lane with either with tech or tank, and he's gonna be doing his job. Yeah, he needs a little bit of support at the beginning, but everybody does. And I'm gonna keep Goku here in S tier, the Super Saiyan one. If I say Goku, you'd be like, which one? But I want to put Goku here in S tier. Very good at taking objectives. Very good at team wiping, especially with level 3 Spirit Bomb. If you have tank distracted, he could go in and take anything. Like, he is a character that if you're on a 1v1, you want to run away from him. That's what you probably want to do. If you are in a 1v1 scenario with Goku, it's better to go, depends on who you pick, I guess, but like most of the time you might just want to be like, well, I'm just gonna go to like my base or like my God Destruction and just chill here for a little bit. All right, for the next S tier, I could be wrong, but I want to put Gotenks in S tier. I haven't played Gotenks myself, but whenever I'm playing with a Gotenks or against the Gotenks, I really do feel like he's putting in work. Gotenks here is a tech that could do, I would say he is a more support tech than like, I mean, not like, I guess every tech can be a support tech, but more like support in combat than support type of defense. Does that make sense? If you're in a fight and you're paired up with Gotenks, you have a better chance at going into the fights because Gotenks has the Galactic Donut that like wrangles up the enemies and puts them together. So like characters like Broly or like well, I'm just gonna put Broly in here, Kefla, and probably Super Saiyan God Goku would take, not God, the other one, Super Saiyan Goku could take advantage of, because they're all wrangled up and you're doing that AoE attack and hitting both at once. He also has the ghosts that go follow you, or he could put in defense. That way you don't feel like as naked if you're running by yourself. You have the ghost to help you out. He's also very sneaky and very fast. So that's why I'm a little bit more like, should I really put Gotenks in here in S tier? I could put him in A tier, but I think it's a little bit better than an A tier. He is a character that is very annoying to deal with, but like he's good. He is good, but you know what? I think I'll still put him in S tier because he is a tech that I could rely on. Like, hey, come in and help me do damage, because he can fight, right? This is why I'm also putting him here, is because he has the ability to actually go in and fight. He's not someone that always stays back or stays behind you. If you are in a tough spot, Gotenks can come in. So that I think that's enough of Gotenks, because let's skip a little bit and go into A tier now, because I was talking about techs. No. Let's stay in and let's put Kid Gohan. I really couldn't say much about Gotenks because I haven't really played Gotenks, and I haven't asked my friend who used to play a bunch of Gotenks, and he just kind of stopped because he's like I have fun playing with like other characters. I'm like, that's fine, but like since I haven't really asked him and I haven't seen as much, so. But Gohan I do know a bunch of. Gohan or Kid Gohan, I would say, is still a strong S tier. Since the beginning he was introduced to now, Gohan I know more of. I'm more like well informed about Gohan. Gotenks not as much, but I mean I guess just trust me with it. Trust the process. Son Gohan here has a very good kit, a very good passive ability of the friendship boost, and being able to do rush attacks on enemies and then like debuff them. He is very good. He can also go in and attack. He has the skill 1 Masenko, skill 2 kick, and skill 3 boost. So he can go anywhere essentially. He has the ability to buff you, so now you're stronger. And I would like to say early game is very important because you're trying to get the Kais, you're trying to get the farms, you're trying to get lucky and get the early enemy KOs, whether it's for snowball or just experience. Gohan has it all. Debuff them, stagger them, Masenko for the burst, the boost with his skill 3. Like his kit is very well rounded. He's able to fight. He's able to stay back if he has to, but he's like right next to you. He's like your sidekick, and he's a very good damn sidekick. And it's really funny seeing like the free-to-play characters being like all in top tier. But Gohan can really do, his ult is also really good, being able to do really big burst damage, big area, having the enemy take a lot of damage. By himself, he's not that good. He definitely does get shitted on by himself, but Gohan has the ability to run away. He's very fast. He takes advantage of his speed, takes advantage of the kit. A good Gohan can really like not shape the battle too much, but he does give you an upper hand. Gohan here, S tier. Gohan, S tier. Just like Ultimate Gohan. Ultimate Gohan was busted and still is. Being able to refresh his skills, very annoying. I forgot which skill it was, the one that like makes you fear out and you run away, and then being able to like go that and then damage, reset into that again. He's very annoying to deal with, because even though he's a tech, he is really into the battle. He is like, just like how Kid Gohan can be in the battle with you and support, Kid Ultimate Gohan is in the battle with you whooping ass. He is putting belt to ass when he's with you. So yeah, that's what about Ultimate Gohan is. He's also like very good tech fighting, but he can also help support, like if you're in a tough spot or like you're in a fight with the character, you go and scares them. They have to do like 2 seconds, and 2 seconds is a lot in this game because you be doing crazy damage in those 2-second intervals. If you're like a tank and he hits you with the I'm just gonna call it the scaredy skill. If he hits you with the scaredy skill and as a tank, that shit sucks, because now your role as a tank has been nullified for a bit, and now they could go in and whittle down your DPSs, your techs that are helping or whatnot. Or if you're a DPS and you're like you're gonna do crazy damage to a boss, God of Destruction, a team fight, he just resets that shit. You run away and he's gonna ult. His ult being able to move is very good, but it does really good damage. I think at less people, the less people that are in the radius. So like he could just like pick you out of the fight and make sure that he takes you out. He's a very good sniper. And I know I said that he has the scaredy skill, but that reminded me about Gotenks being able to nullify you from using your skills. So that's why I put him there. That's why I put him there. He's very good at shutting you up with the ghost, or I think it's a ghost, but you are unable to use your skills, and that really does suck if you're in a fight. Especially team fights, trying to take objective and try and take it from each other. Being able to either take out your tank or your main DPS, it really sucks to see, because you just stand there doing nothing while their entire team is ready to just ult or ready to like wrangle you up. So I forgot why. I was like, does he really? No, he is very oppressive at times. Very annoying to deal with when he does that, just like Ultimate Gohan. I would like to put Vegito here. I would like to put Vegito in S tier, actually. I was gonna say he's an A tier, but I think I can put him in S tier. Vegito here, his way to play is dealing a bunch of area damage with a bunch of enemies being, in his attacks. So like Spirit Source, Split Finger Shot, and Extreme Speed. It's technically Extreme Speed. I would like to say he's honest. Like, he is not a character that came out and was insanely busted like Kefla, Goku, Gohan right here. Like, he felt like an honest character. Like, yeah, he is strong, but he is not unkillable. Like, he's not shitting a 1v4, So let's talk about Vegito real quick. So first of all, one of the things that Vegito has that the other characters don't is he's able to transform at any fucking level that he wants. He could transform level 1, level 2, level 3. Yeah, it doesn't have to hit level 7 like most of these characters, or the characters that do transform, they transform at level 7. Vegito can transform whenever he wants, and that's what really made him annoying at first. It wasn't busted, but it did suck whenever you were fighting a Vegito and he would do that. So Vegito being able to transform early games is really important. Why? Because like the first 2 or 3 Kais really dictate which team is going to be pushing who. That level, that extra 2 levels. So at level 4, you're probably at level 6. The levels do matter in this game. So let's say him with a tech are going and they're going to take Kai. Well, maybe they didn't successfully take Kai, but now they're engaging in a team fight. They're low and the enemy's low. So it just really depends on the skill cooldown. Vegito can transform, gain that extra health, and now he has slight boost in damage. And depending on who you're playing, you are forced to evacuate or you are going to die. That's what Vegito has. He could turn the battle very early, and like I said before, early game is very important because it does dictate how middle to late game is going to happen. Because if you or the enemy team are taking objectives and taking everything, chances are you're going to be taking all the farm, and you're going to be able to bully the enemy team by taking their farm. And even if you're like, they're like in their base healing up and then they go in and attack, because they're lacking on farm and lacking in experience levels, which means they're low level and their skills aren't leveled up, you're gonna be just like steamrolling them. So that's what Vegito has, is the early game. If he's doing good, again, any character can do good, but if he's doing good early game, he can really just start taking farms, start taking objectives. You got to be important. Sometimes you have to disengage early in a battle just because you know you're gonna lose. But you know what? That's enough for his ability to transform. Like I said, the more characters that he hits with his skills, he will gain health, and I think he'll get a cooldown. I could be entirely wrong about that one, but he does get health, so that means longevity in a fight. His spirit sword at level 3. It's just insane radius. He's just smacking the fuck out of everyone. His ult's also very strong. He's a very strong character overall. His extreme speed, very go in and then cooldown immediately. So the way that it works, if you hit someone for the first time, the cooldown gets reduced immediately and you get to use the ability again. And then if you hit someone else and that you haven't hit before, you could use it again. But then if you hit someone that you hit before, you know, you have to wait for the cooldown. But it's just like Lucario from Pokemon Unite. If you played it, just go in, doof, and if you hit someone, boof, just through extreme speed, skill, extreme speed. Like, he is very strong at doing that. That's what I did with Vegito. My friend was like, you don't really have to level up the skill, but when I did, it was very strong. Going in, they can't really run away because your extreme speed, making sure that you're closing in the gap when they're trying to run away. So even though I say Vegito is like, if he feels like the most fair character, he's not busted, but he's not bad. He's still a very good character to have. Broly. Am I wrong for putting legendary Super Saiyan Broly in S tier? Maybe. I might be wrong, but it doesn't really feel like it. Anyways, here we have Broly in S tier. Now I think I should probably be putting him in A tier or even B tier if I'm keeping it for real. And I'm gonna go talking about why. Let's talk about his biggest weakness, and that is range. Yeah, his stomp at level 3 does crazy damage at crazy radius, but the one thing that Broly has, or the one thing Broly has troubles with, is closing in the gap. When I talked about Super Saiyan God Goku and I said Kefla, you could go in and bully a Broly from long range, and I mean crazy long range, a range that Broly can't close the gap fast enough, because if he does try to go rush you, you could just run away. Broly can't do anything about long range. Oh, Kefla, Goku, God, and the Super Saiyan 3 one with this beam, or Oob, or Gotenks, because Gotenks is really fast. Super Saiyan God Vegeta can tank him. Bardock can tank him. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, all of these characters are above him, but they're above him for a reason. It's just Broly can't really deal with them. Broly has crazy damage. That's what he does have. He has Stomp, Punch to slow him down, and his skill 3 Roar that resets your skill cooldowns for the other two, and you could just use them again. So that's what Broly has. Broly has damage, but he doesn't have range or the speed to go in and go fight the other characters. And his ult is also very, very strong, but like it's not the best compared to the other ones. But why, Tiger? Why are you putting him in S tier? Hard coping? I think Broly got buffed unintentionally because they added God Vegeta and Bardock. That's why. And I guess Gotenks can kind of be put into that little group. And you might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, what do all of those three have in common? That's right, they could pull in the enemies together. Kefla, God Goku, SSJ3. Well, SSJ3 can teleport, but like if he doesn't have that, Oob, all of those long range characters get pulled in. They can't do anything about it. And like Bardock, if they have Bardock, they can't do shit. Vegeta, they could try to escape, but if Vegeta pulls them in, Vegeta can hit him with the God Bind, and now they can't move. And Gotenks kind of wrangles him up altogether. Yeehaw, cowboy. But that's what I'm saying. If there's a God Vegeta or a Bardock or that, Broly has an easier time attacking the enemy, and the enemy being unable to run away and he can just stomp, 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 punch, roar, stomp, 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 punch, and then ult. So he has the damage, he has the DPS, he could kill, he could go and just go shit on you, and you can't really, you're kind of forced to run away if you're by yourself. But you know what, maybe he is an A tier the more I think about it. But I'm just gonna hard cope and keep him in S tier just because of Vegeta and Bardock, and I guess Gotenks. But that's the only reason why, is you pull them together into a group and Bardock can just wreak havoc. They can't escape the Broly boost. He is going to be punching the fuck out of them. He's going to be stomping on them. And then he's going to reset his cooldowns and he's going to be going attacking them. And then especially if he hits level 7 and has that transformation, he is going to be doodling on the enemy and on objectives. But this is why I'm putting Broly up in there, is because his teammates do matter. It really does. If he didn't have Vegeta and Bardock, he'd probably be A tier or like maybe B tier. But I think with them and how the meta is, you know how people like picking meta. So this is like very, like I said it, I'm just like trying my hardest to justify. But I think that should be enough to justify that he isn't S tier. But I'm just gonna be like, yeah, and I'm just gonna keep Broly in S tier. He could do the damage, he gets the help from these two, and I guess him. So this is why Broly's S tier. Like, he by himself can squad wipe, and if they don't like run away and really like gun down Broly's gonna gun them down. Okay, so after reviewing for a bit, I think this is my S tier. This is my S tier list. I was looking at the other characters, and the only other one I would really put in there is Trunks, but I don't think I'm gonna be putting Trunks. I was thinking about him. I was thinking about him. I was thinking about him, and him as potential S tiers, but I don't know. I just don't think it's enough, right? Like, they're good, but I don't think they're enough to be putting in S tiers. So we're just gonna be going into the A tiers immediately, and let's go put in my boy. Let's put in Krillin. Let's put in Krillin in A tier first. Krillin here as an A tier, I think people put him higher, but the reason that I don't put him higher is because Krillin is a tech, but he's a very in the back tech. You know, he goes in, blinds you, and then leaves. He doesn't have a kit to deal damage. He doesn't have much to stay into fights. He is tech support. That's what he is. If you're with a Krillin and you're in a team fight, Krillin will try his best to do what he can, but dang, I forgot what the moves are called. But with like being able to blind them, making those invisible landmines, and then the other one that I forgot what it was, he really doesn't have anything. He's someone that your team goes in and push, and he just stays back, not really engaging into the fight, but just being like an annoying mosquito. Krillin is a mosquito. That's what he is. That's why I put him in A tier. Gotenks can fight. Gohan can fight. Both Gohans can fight. That's why I put him there. Because they help the team, but they can also do work. Krillin just helps the team. Don't really expect the Krillin to help you. He'll try his best because, you know, they're teammates. That's what the game's about, being a team. Krillin will try his best, but he's not going to do much. Like, the moment you start losing or he starts getting hit, he's going to book it because he doesn't have the DPS to actually do something significant. So he has to go heal and make sure to position himself in a position where if they, you know, the Zenos go into attack, like he could go and be a nuisance. He himself just can't do damage. That's why I'm putting him in A tier. His ult is also strong, but that doesn't justify Krillin being an A. Like, how many times are you gonna get your ult? 4 or 5 times in a game? That's not, like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not enough. Cause, like, okay, Broly without his ult can go do work. Vegeta without his ult can do work. Broly by himself can do work. Vegeta can do work by themselves. All of these characters by themselves. Maybe, yeah, I get, you know, though you could probably kill Son Goku, or a Kefla, but like they don't need these very niche, or not niche, but specific scenarios. Like well, if Krillin had his, oh yeah, but no shit, if Kefla had her ult all the fucking time, but she doesn't have to ult all the time, or like if Broly had a Kamehameha or be, but no, that's what we have. Krillin is good, don't get me wrong, but he can't DPS, he can't go in, he just more of taking objectives, and by objectives I mean gods of destruction and blinding you, especially blinding you. Did I say blind? He blinds you a lot. But that's why I'm going to be putting Krillin here in A tier. Another character that I want to put here in A tier is Hit. And the same thing with Krillin is Hit doesn't have much DPS. Hit is a God of Destruction eliminator. That's what he does. Because he distorts your view. That way you can only see them if he's right next to you. And most of the time they're running an invisible man. But yeah, Hit is pretty much someone that takes objective. He himself isn't really much of a fighter. Same thing with Krillin. But the reason that Hit is better is because Hit, like he can blind you, he could really fuck you up. Hit is very annoying to deal with. But he just can't really do much in team fights. He could go in, fuck up your like senses, and then have the team go in. But this is why I'm putting Hit in A tier, not an S tier. It's like, even though he's very good at taking objectives because he's like untraceable, sometimes you just don't, you're like, oh fuck, I didn't know that they were taking the gods of destruction. You don't check until like you're like, whoa, wait, why are my god of destruction health going down? It's because Hit's there. So if you're like going up against a Hit, you have to be a little bit more defensive, because if you don't, he's really going to be taking advantage of that. Just like an assassin, he takes advantage whenever people aren't paying attention. Very good at taking gods of destruction, but everything else, he's just like, for reals, he's not good at anything else. He can't really fight. He's not going in, like, he'll try, but like I said, he's just better at being a nuisance than being an actual fighter. That's why I'm going to keep him in A tier. It's just can't really do much, and all he does, if you have like people or teammates that are smart enough to like maybe one stay back and the other three go in, or like, okay, we can only stay away from our god destruction for so long, because if we stay any bit longer, he's gonna go in and we're not gonna pay attention. We're gonna be thinking it's safe, and he's gonna whittle down like 50-40% before we realize that a Hit is in our side. All right, next, Cooler. I have Cooler here in A tier. I was gonna put him in S tier, but I just don't think he has enough to actually justify being in S tier. But he does have one thing that I really do like, and that is I think it's his skill 2. I could be wrong. Now let's talk about what he does have. And like I said, I don't know if it was skill 2 or 3, but it's the one that makes the radius around himself, and it causes slow movement, and they can't vanishing step. That's what Cooler has. Whenever Kefla got introduced, people were running Cooler and Bardock, because Cooler has the ability to slow down Kefla, make sure she can't run away, she can't teleport away, and then everybody else just goes in and they just dog on them. That's what they do. And you know, because Kefla is still in the meta, Cooler can still show up, but he's not like the best pick. He does have a little bit more damage and range with laser, but what Cooler lacks is an actual way to like bring them in. God Vegeta can bring them in, Bardock can bring them in, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta can't bring them in, but he could push them away. You know, like they could do, like all of them can do something, can just really be like slow you down, but that's it. He can't really do much. As much as I loved playing Cooler when he released and he was Z tier, he's really fallen off, but that doesn't mean he's bad. It's just that the other ones are better. His kits just got outshined, bro. They just got power crept. That's essentially what happened. He had like I said, his skill 2 or 3, I forgot which one it is, that could stop him, and then that's it. That's all. Like they just slow down. But then Bardock was pull them in, and then God Vegeta was pull them in, but I can walk and vanishing step while I'm doing that. So like if you vanish, I vanish. But that's what's wrong about Cooler, is it's good, but it sucks because like at level 1 and 2 it has no range. That's what you want. You want range. But because it doesn't have range, like, it kind of feels useless because you need to catch up to them. But you could be like, that's the same thing about God, Vegeta, and Bardock. Well, yes, but as long as you have them in the small edge, like you're edging them, you pull them in. Maybe Vegeta a little bit less because they could teleport out. But like, if they're not Kefla, not everything can be Kefla. Like if you want to get a team of 4 Keflas, then it'd be like, oh yeah, Bardock. The other ones just got tuned. So they got like so fine-tuned that they make Cooler look bad or outdated, but he's not. He's just maybe a little bit. But I mean, his laser can hit very far and it does cause burn, but it's not like my best move that I'd be running, right? I'd rather be scrapping them with the grab. And like his ability is like really cool too, but I don't know, like I just think the other tanks are just better. The other tanks are just doing their job better. They're being tanks. Cooler can tank, but like at an okay amount, and he can scrap. But you know, he's just like the old man. Like, I'm sorry, Grandpa. Well, just yeah. You know, yeah, you were a good fighter, Grandpa. But that was back then. Now he's like trying to keep up with the cool kids, but he just can't. That's what's wrong with Cooler. Like, the ability to take in your opponent or to stop your opponent from running away and then having your team dog on them is very good, but having to wait all the way to skill 3, yeah, but like I said, Vegeta's may not be the best, but he has meter that once it fills up, it cool down and you could just do it and try again. That's what's really good. Cooler doesn't have the pay to win ability to do that shit. Cooler is just like, oh well, I tried, man, but they were too fucking fast. Android 17, Jesus Christ, bro, I'm just putting all the fucking text in here. I guess Cooler's there too. Android 17 fucking sucked back then. He was like a fucking C tier, you're like a D tier, like a B tier, he was like these two. Now he's good. So what does Android 17? Android 17 still had the ability to deal damage and to go into fights and to help you. Like, he had a good DPS to go and be support. But let's just talk about his most important kit, and that is his skill to give you extra HP, but like for a limit, or more like shield. It feels more like shield. He gives you extra health or shield, whatever you want to call it, only for a little bit, and then it disappears. So back then he would do that, but it would last like a half a second or like a second, and then it would just disappear. Like, it just didn't fucking matter. You would go into a fight, he would do that, and then right away it would just disappear. And that extra HP, it just kind of felt insignificant. It didn't matter. But then over time they buffed it. I think now it's like 1.5 or 2 seconds, and now it's actually meaningful. Like, if you go against an android and, you know, yeah, they're fighting, they're going in and fighting, but then they know when to run away or when to stay back, they would do that. And then they would run away, because even though they're at low health, you can't kill them. You have to wait those 2 seconds, and those 2 seconds matter. Those 2 seconds that you could have killed them, now they went back, now they went to go heal, and because you kind of either you went to go chase them down to do your best, or you ignored them. If you did go chase them down, they would go back and heal and go in, and maybe they don't even have to full heal because he would just go use that skill again. And it just felt like oppressive, because they would always have that little bonus shield that Android 17 would use, and you know, it would just like be annoying to deal with, because like multiple times it happened where I was just fighting against the 17 and they would just get that extra health, and I'm like, well, that's a little unfair, I say, as I'm playing Kefla. But like, now the move is actually useful. He does feel like the support that he should be, and like I said, he can still do damage, he can still go in and still do stuff, but like very good at keeping your DPSs alive. That way your DPSs can do DPS things, or making sure your tank your tank can stay alive. But not just that, but that damage that he would have taken to his normal health pretty much gets negated because of that. And now you live for longer, and again, his skill technically made your skills, if you think about it, go on cooldown, because now you're not dying, you're not taking damage. You're like, oh, if only I had my cooldown, or if only I had a little bit more health. Now you have that a little bit more health that 17 gave you to live out those punches, and then, you know, give you enough time to get the cooldown ready. So yeah, this is what Android 17 is. He's very good. He's not no Z tier, he's not no S tier, but he's a very good solid A tier. I would put him above Krillin. I know I said I wouldn't put him, but I'm sorry, Krillin. But that's my thoughts on Android 17. He's like very good at what he's doing, making sure keeping the team alive. Whether you're running away or in a fight, just having to get that extra bonus HP to land those extra punches, and then to hopefully knock out an enemy or two. Or, you know, yeah, I think that's enough about Android 17. Next, I would like to put Toppo in A tier. Just like Broly, Toppo lacks in two things: range and speed. I played a bunch of Toppo when he came out, so I'm very familiar with Toppo's game. Toppo is very strong because he has an ability of the mark of the God of Destruction, and what that would do is it would stack up all the way to 4, and then whenever you would use your skills, it would deal more damage. It would give, like, for each punch, just like how Kefla's rush attacks would lower her vanishing step cooldown, this would lower his skill cooldown, so he would use it again faster and faster and faster. And then even if you disengage from the fight, the March of Destruction would kind of like burn you and deal damage, so you could die on your way to heal or just die running away. So that's what Toppo has. Toppo has ways to will you down in DPS, but he also has his skill 3, and with the skill 3, he would like immensely slow down and get into this stance, which would grant him bonus armor. And what it did is, if depending on how many Marks of Destruction you have, there'd be a radius, and you know, with each level you would upgrade that skill, the radius would get bigger. If you were in that radius for like 2 or 3 seconds, he would then flick the booger, and that booger would deal damage equal to the number, or it would do more damage the more marks that you have, and I think it's up to 4 marks. And it'd be a big burst of damage sometimes. Like, it would just like obliterate tanks. And it could hit 2 people. I think it could hit as many people, but like normally it was like 1 or 2. And you might be like, oh, but he's doing a lot of damage like Broly, and Broly doesn't have range. Are you being biased with Broly? A little bit. But as much as I love Toppo, the thing is, the people just realized, and they were like, oh, I know the counterplay for Toppo. Vanish away. No joke, just vanish away whenever he would do a skill 3, and chances are, because you're out of his range, the booger would just like never really hit you. So that's what ended up happening to Toppo. Is people realized that he's slow as shit. You could just vanish, you could just limit break and jump and get the fuck up out of there. Or like the other tanks, they could just tank it. God Vegeta can tank it, Bardock can kind of tank it, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta could absolutely tank it. Cooler probably not, but like it's just the Kefla can run away, Son Goku can run away, Oob can run away, Goku can run away, Super Saiyan God Goku can probably kill you with this Kaioken. We're talking about the DPSs. Vegito can probably run away, and Broly can probably kill you. So like under all these characters, you know, just Toppo just really can't do it. And especially, like I said, when it comes to the meta and people are picking the best characters, Toppo is really like, he does get a bunch of help with Vegeta and Bardock, Super Saiyan God Vegeta at least. But I don't know, like having to wait those 2 seconds is crucial, because if you don't kill them, they kill you. That's what it is. Like, those 2 seconds do matter. You do get that bonus defense, but if, like I said, Super Saiyan God Goku Kaioken and punches the fuck out of you, that shit's gonna hurt. That's why I'm putting Toppo in here in A tier. His ult, very good at taking objectives. It is burst, it's not instant like Oops, but you can mark a destruction the objectives like Nappa, Brienne, Jacko, and them. So you can do that and do crazy amount of damage like at level 6 and 7. Ah, fuck me. At those levels, Toppo can do a bunch of damage, deal well over half or around half, or like very close to half. It really, I think like he could, I guess, just crazy damage. And if the enemy tries to go in and they're all close range, they're risking dying. So that's why Toppo could be better. Is he does need range, he does need speed, but what he has is enough to keep him up in A tier and not like sink down to B tier, C tier, and D tier. I still think he is a very good character, a very strong character. It's just that he's lacking in the dealing a lot of burst damage department, like quick burst and taking and like being slow as shit. Another character that I would like to put in A tier is regular Super Saiyan Vegeta. Super Saiyan Vegeta was an annoying tank to deal with back then, because he did good damage. He did pretty good damage, but he, with his attacks, with his Ki Blast attack, he would just gain armor. And then he'd be the one to just and then just gain armor. He was very good at spamming his attacks and staying alive with his Big Bang attack. I think it was Big Bang or Big Burst. It would pull you in and do good damage. He was a very scrappy fighter. He was a tank, but a tank because of his armor, but not tank as in defending your teammate, because he really had no way to keeping them away or pulling them in to have the other people deal damage or whatever. I think he still has what it takes to go and fight the other characters. Like, clearly he's not the best, but clearly he's not the worst. He is a tank that could go into fights to make sure your other far range characters like Goku here, other Goku here, and Kefla, they could do their damage from far away while he keeps on healing. But I don't think he just heals enough to compare against God Vegeta, but he also can't really tank enough like Super Saiyan. He is the weakest of the Vegetas, but for a free to play character, being an A tier is still pretty good, very considerable character to be using. If you see him or if you're using him, I'm gonna like, you know, cut you some slack. Like, you're still doing something. Like, it's not the best tank. I know every other character, maybe not Krillin, but like every other character, I was like, oh, they're good at this. But like Vegeta, I just feel like he's the weakest. But he's not, compared to the other tanks, he is definitely better. This is why I'm putting him in A tier. His ult, his skills are all just pretty much damage. He's not supposed to be a DPS main, or like a DPS character. Like, I mean, that's not his role. But not the best tank, not the worst tank. He's like the definition of mid. There is better tanks that you could be running. Honestly, if you were like waiting here for the Vegeta and then you just hear me say this, you're like, that's a little upsetting, because I like Vegeta. I like Vegeta too. But let me just skip over and say Kefla or Caulifla. Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla is just a better Vegeta. She actually does what a tank is supposed to be doing. Her skill to impose wrath on your opponents to make them fight her. She's like mini Bardock. She like because if the opponents have wrath, they do less damage to her, and I think she does more damage to them, which is kind of like Bardock's Rebel Guard. So she could impose wrath. She does these, like, her damage output may not be the best like Bardock, but she's very good at pulling them in, and especially with which I haven't really talked about, is your little helper. I forgot what his name is, but it's a little robot dude. Like, she does what Vegeta can't do, and that's actually be a tank. Because like I said, for Vegeta, is you could just ignore him. He could just be like, I'm Vegeta, and then you're like, whatever, dog, I'm just gonna walk away, and then that's it. He just has to chase you down. Caulifla forces you into combat, whether you like it or not. She imposes wrath and you have to go fight her. And because, you know, if you're holding down the rush attacks, your character just auto locks onto her, and you'd be like, okay, then I'll just stop attacking. Nice, now you stopped attacking and she's gonna be slapping your ass cheeks. So like, that's what Caulifla has. Her ultimate's not that good. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Her ultimate kind of fucking sucks. But her as a character, with her ability of taking less damage from opponents that are like Wrath or Wraith, I think it's Wrath, and then having the helper making sure you're keeping them all at bay so your teammates can do what they gotta do. That's why she's better than Vegeta. Caulifla is the better tank, and being free to play, better than 17. Better than Cooler. Yeah, you know what? It's Caulifla, Cooler, Vegeta. Those are how I'd put it. I mean, remember, this doesn't show who's the best. He does. He is the ultimate S tier for me. But the way that I'm ordering them doesn't really matter. But Caulifla is better than Cooler and Vegeta. But just because I put her here doesn't mean she's better than Toppo. But it's just to show you visually that she is better than Cooler and Vegeta. Another character that I want to put here in A tier is Trunks. And the reason I want to put Trunks in here is because Trunks has crazy burst damage. He could do so much damage so quickly. And then he's good at like whittling down a certain character. I would like to call him just like hit another assassin, because he could kill Kefla, It happened to me playing God Vegeta where it was just me and him. Sometimes he would just hit me with, I don't know, it's like a Marth's tipper, and just with his burst sword and everything. Like on a 1v1, Trunks can do crazy burst damage. He could kill Kefla, Boo, Oob, all the Gokus, Vegito. Like, he has the damage, and if he pinpoint that damage into the one character that is important, I mean, it kind of sucks because you're like, oh, if I get them low enough, Kefla can ult, or oh, if I pull them in and ult with Broly. But like, if he just singles out Broly, singles out Kefla, singles out the character that's gonna like be the MVP of taking objective, it really does set you back. He's very good at taking advantage of Snowball because, like I said, he goes in, kills, and gets out. And as much as I'm giving him praise, he's not an S tier or a Z tier because it's just the characters that we've gotten have ways to deal. Like, he's more of an ambush character. And even if he does ambush them, a good quick reaction and you're just beating Trunks. Trunks doesn't have as much HP, and then after that, all his other skills, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like he's doing as much damage once like you get him into a panic state. Like, yeah, nice job, dipshit. Like, you just tickled me and called it a day. So that's why, like, he's good, but there's better. But he's still strong, but they're stronger. So that's why I'm thinking about Trunks is like I said, I'd be willing to put him in S tier, but it's just the other characters can just do what he does except better. But I'm gonna be putting Trunks here in A tier. He's a very good character. He does very good pinpoint burst damage, but this game isn't a 1v1 type of game. You could be put into 1v1 scenarios, but this is a team game where you're supposed to coordinate with your team, and if your team coordinates properly, you can overpower Trunks. That goes both ways. If the enemy team coordinates properly, the Trunks can shit on you. But the problem is you could spend like $7 and buy Bardock and Kefla and win. Hey, this game is pay to win. What can I tell you? Anybody can notice that. That's my A tiers. I think those are, I'd be willing to put Android 18 in A tier, but these are my A tier. Oh, you know what? No. Piccolo. Let's talk about Piccolo. Piccolo is a DPS, but not really. But he is a DPS. Now, what I mean about that is Piccolo is a definition of a sniper. He is very good at long range. He is very good with his ult. He's like sniping out objective, and his ult, just like the skill 1 of Bardock that you could be used 3 times, his ult can be used 3 times. It's just the more that you charge it, the more damage it does. The reason I'm putting Piccolo here in low A tier is because while there is, you know, long range attack, very good at sniping objective, very good at dealing damage at enemies, and if you have a good tank, they can't really get to Piccolo. The thing is, Kefla is just better in terms of damage, but she doesn't have to be far away. She could literally run in and skill 1 teleport skill 2 at max damage. Ooh, just does more damage. Piccolo lacks deep, like actual DPS. Like, yeah, his ult and whatever can do really good DPS damage. Doesn't really justify it because at a team fight, Piccolo is not that good. Piccolo is more of a support DPS, not like an actual engage type of DPS. I know people rank him higher because, like I said, objectives are very important in this game. But Piccolo, on the other hand, like, I just don't think he's enough. If you could snipe out Nappa, Jackie Chan, Jacko, or Brienne, get those 3 to get those Zenos, that's very cool. But now, you know, what's the whole point of doing that if you can't really go engage? Because if they take out your tank and they take out one of your DPSs and it's just Piccolo and someone else, Piccolo can't really go in because he loses a bunch of 1v1 interactions. Like, he just loses. He can't do 1v1. He has to be with the team. Like, Kefla can be with the team, but if you have her skill 2 just does crazy damage. You could just go in, blast them, and go in. Goku can be from afar and just do crazy damage, forcing them to stay back. Like all these other characters, like Super Saiyan, Goku, Vegeta, like they're all just doing the damage. They're going in and they can do damage. Piccolo can do damage, but you already wasted your ult and you don't really have as much health. You could use the extend hand to grab a wall and run away, but like, then what was the whole point? You know, I guess you just take the the bosses, the objectives. But Piccolo can't really do. He's like I said, he is the like Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He is a supportive DPS. He's more of whittling them down. It's just that Super Saiyan 3 is better. I was gonna put him B tier, but I think he has enough in his kit to be A tier. If you are a good Piccolo and you have good teammates to take care of you. Next in B tier, I'm gonna be putting Android 18. Android 18 here has very good burst damage as well, especially with her ability to mark opponents with her skills, and then depending on which skill, like you can do very good damage. She's a very good assassin. She's in and then she's out. The problem is she like Trunks, like I said to Trunks, she is more of an ambush character, because if you see her out in the open, she really can't do anything, you know? She can't go in and really go attack you because she doesn't have the range. And if you're just like Kefla or like Oob or like God Goku, you know, you're dealing damage from afar and she can't really close in the gaps. Broly, Toppo, and even Trunks can out damage her. Trunks can really do shit on her, and Toppo just needs to heal skill 1, skill 2 into a God of Destruction booger, and she pretty much gets whittled out. Again, she is strong, and like I'm gonna go back to the whole roster. Anyone can be a good character, anyone can be strong, anyone can take the win. It's just who can do it more efficiently, you know? Who can actually do their job, who can go help, who can do all of like everything. It's all around. Remember, this is not just a 1v1 scenario where she could just go in and get out. This is a team game, and it just really depends on who's like together. So she is a good character, it's just they're better. By the time you hit like 20% on like potential unlock, Kefla and them already are like at 50%. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it makes sense. So this is what's wrong with Android 18. It's just like, yeah, by the time you spent with Android 18, you could have spent less time with these other characters and achieve better results. That's what I'm trying to say. By the time that you have Android 18 at level 7 doing her thing, that wouldn't really make sense. Like, oh, Kefla would be level 10, but at level 7, Kefla, she's like hard to deal with. She transforms, she could do crazy damage, she's teleporting all over the place, she's teleporting skill 2, teleporting ult, her skill 1s to making sure she's teleporting and getting that damage boost. Or like Son Goku doing that crazy finger shot from far away with the dragon, and this ult being to do Kamehameha from everywhere. And Android 18, like that you know. So that's what Android 18 is. I feel like if she just got a little more buffs, she did get buffs, but she got reworks, and the reworks I just didn't really feel it for her. So that's why I'm putting Android 18 in B tier. It's just there's other characters, there's better characters. Bojack used to be a joke. If you saw a Bojack on the enemy team or on your team, depending on who had Bojack, they were selling. He sucked. He did no damage, he sucked, and his ultimate sucked. His ultimate is by far one of the worst ults I have ever seen in the fucking game, and I'm being serious. But he did end up getting buffs, and those buffs mattered. Now he's actually better. Bojack's in B tier because he's better. The 3 Bs, the big booty bandit. That's what Bojack is. Because you don't want to engage Toppo, you don't want to like pull Toppo in, because you want to run away from skill 3. Bojack here in B tier, he has his skills, his traps, his beam, like all of it got buffed. They do more damage, but they also like this trap, it could slow you down tremendously. He can actually go in and take advantage of Snowball. He became such a better character with all the buffs that he came in, that if you see someone with the Bojack, they can actually do something now. Bojack's kit is enough to be decent. He is good for a bad character. Android 18 is just, you know what? I think Bojack is just better. Like, he's gonna be our B child right here. He could go in and do crazy damage, but all of these can do what he does except better. They have the range, they have the abilities, they have the skills. The transformation are more meaningful. Their ults actually hit. Whoops. His ults just don't. Well, what the fuck? His ults just doesn't the 5 beams that spread out like whenever you pee with the boner, and then they finally close in when you shake it off. It's just, by the time he does that, you could just teleport behind him and just start beating him up. That's what's wrong with Bojack. You could, like I said, you could go with Bojack, but you could pick anybody else. Pick Piccolo. Trunks. If you're gonna be staying in the back doing his skills and then running away, just pick anybody else, bro. They do exactly what he does, except better. Up next, Super Saiyan Kel Berserk. I'm keeping her in B tier. Definitely better than Bojack. I know I said Bojack was our B child, but she's our B child. I know some people would probably rank her higher or maybe lower. I think she's a healthy B tier because she can actually do crazy amounts of burst damage with her skills. She is also kind of like a sniper. She stays back. She doesn't really go into the front line. Kel does have the damage to go into fights, not just stay back. It's just not enough. But when Kel transforms, yes. When Kel transforms, she's a monster. When Kel transforms, you get away. But like I said, that's just not enough to justify it. Why? Because her ult takes like 100 seconds to like go on cooldown before you get to use it again. 100? Really? 100? She doesn't even get to transform. She hits level 7 and does nothing. That's the, you know what? I'll put Bojack. I'll say Bojack's still our poster child for the B tier. That's what's wrong with Kel. She has the damage, but her ult, her character, bro, look at her. Her fucking thing is for her transform. She's supposed to be transformed. That's her whole thing. She was supposed to be but no, they didn't give her that. So like, while she is scary, it takes 100 seconds to transform. And if she did transform earlier for whatever reason, to clutch or whatever, now she doesn't have it and she's out of the game. Because if you go rush in, she can't survive a 1v1 with Goku's, with Broly's. And if it, so like in a 1v1 scenario, she's not really winning, and a 2v1 scenario even less. And without her ult, you know, because if you give a character an ult and it's a really good ult, but then you just, you know, you fumble it by giving it to like Kel with that big ass cooldown, and I think I said before, her having a really good ult doesn't justify her enough to be a good character, right? It has to be as an overall, and as an overall, she's just not enough. If you have a character that really revolves around their ult, that's just not good. It's like with Tony Stark, that's the Spider-Man. If you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve it. So that's the same thing with Kefla. Alright, next in B tier, I want to put Majin Buu, the fat one. I'm putting Majin Buu here in B tiers because, I mean, honestly, he does feel useful. There is like a couple of ways that you could run him. You can run him to heal or to go attack, because he has the ability to go and heal you. Not much, but it does heal. It does kind of matter. It's enough heal to make it important. Or he runs into the enemy and like smacks them around. That's what he can do. That is what Buu does. Also having the ability to turn you into candy, very strong, very annoying to deal with. But like other than that, I don't know. It just doesn't really feel like Majin Buu is just the better pick. Like we're going to the parts of the tier where it's not enough praise and talking about their skills, but just being outclassed by other ones. Cause like I said, he can heal you, but Android 18 can just give you that extra buff. Like he can do this, but like, you know, he could run into the enemies, but like, why not just pick Ultimate Gohan or Son Gohan to buff you and actually be part of the fight? Yeah, he could turn you into candy and like be a nuisance, but you could just be Krillin and hit and like fuck up their like whole screen, like blind them out. You know, he does feel nice. It's just that there's better, you know? Like he could turn you to a candy, but like he could Gotenks can silence you. So that's what it feels like. Like sometimes it does feel nice whenever you're going into a fight and he goes out of his way to go heal you, but like in a fight he just doesn't feel like it. He's trying to do a little bit of both. He's trying to get into a fight like Gohan and them, but he's also trying to stop them with Krillin and hit by turning him into candy, but he's also healing you. Like overall he's like all three of them, but worse. So that's I'm putting him down in B tier, but right next to him I'm going to put Son Goku or Daimaku. He used to be very strong. Daimaku used to be very good DPS with bomb lightning, having very long range with the power pole. But I don't know, it just doesn't really feel like it. Like, yeah, he's doing damage as a DPS because that's what a DPS is supposed to be doing. But when you compare him to another DPS, he's just not doing enough damage. And actually recently, at the time of the recording, I was playing with a friend who was playing with a Daimaku, and I was playing as Vegeta, and I was pulling them in. And every single time, no joke, the enemy would run away, and you know, my skills were on cooldown, so I couldn't really use it again. And they'd be at a sliver. They'd be at like 1/10 of their whole HP. And it was just, I was telling him, I was like, hey dude, I mean, there's nothing wrong with your Daimaku, it's just the DPS, it doesn't really feel like it's out there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he has the DPS, but just not enough in whenever you get in an altercation with the enemy. Like, if only it was just a little bit more. And yeah, you could snowball farm him with like Prepare to Die or Giant Slayer, and you could do all of this to go tweak out Daimaku, or pick anybody else. You could do all of this to make them viable, or pick Kefla, pick Godku, pick Oob, and you don't have to do as much of this to make them viable when they're already viable themselves. So I'm gonna be putting Daimaku here in B tier. And you know what, I'm gonna put the Gammas. I'm going to put the Gammas here in B tier. The Gammas used to be like a solid pick. They used to be a solid pick, 2 characters, so like if one dies you get the other. I think one of their ults sucked compared to the other one, but you had 2 characters that were relatively strong, and they just got butchered. It just wasn't enough DPS output. The character switch out might be nice, but if you have the wrong character at the wrong time, you get the wrong skill or the wrong ult. So like, it could like, and then if one of the characters dies, you're kind of forced to go respawn, because I think that's how it works. You go recall to go respawn to go get to get the other one back, and that just takes time. That just takes time. Instead of just going to one of the God of Destructions to go heal you with their angels and then going right into the fight, now you have to go waste the whole recall to go push in again. So if you get caught at a wrong time and then you can't recall, they're just gonna fuck you over. With the Gammas, they just got outshined. Just Trunks is better, the Topo, Vegito and them. And even though they are free, if you grind out enough members, you could just get one of these characters that are up there that are just better, or just pick Oob. So like that's what's wrong with the Gammas. It's just they were really good at whenever like at season 1, season 2, but I mean that's what happens in these games. Sometimes they get the buffs to go back into the fights, or they just get rotated out and there's just better pick. But yeah, that's what I like to think about the Gammas. It's just they're just there, and I it's just sad to say because I like the Gammas, but I think Bojack feels better. This is very sad to say for me. I think Bojack is better. I think that's here with B tier. Let's start it off with Cell. Cell was a really good tank back then, and if you had a really optimized Cell, you could transform as fast into level 5 and then just start being a nuisance. Very tanky, regeneration, very strong with his skills. His ult does suck, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know why they gave him that ult, being the Cell's game arena 1v1. That's not an ult a tank should have. That's an ult a DPS should have to really scrap it out, like Broly or some shit like that. But for Cell, I mean, his kits now, it just kind of fucking sucks. Yeah, he get regeneration, or pick Vegeta, pick any other Vegeta, and you do what Cell does, regenerating, instead of having to like waste a second or two. Bardock, you don't have to. Bardock is just crazy the moment he hits level like 3 or 4 with his skill. Like, he can actually do something early game, because Cell, you could go as fast as like level 5 is like the average fastest that you could like fast, or as far as level 7 or 8. So like it's really a gamble how you're playing with the Cell, but it just really doesn't really nice job. It really doesn't feel like it's worth it. Why put all of this time with Cell to get the DNA, to get all of this, to transform him, when you could just pick any other tank and do what he's doing just immediately, you know? Just do what you're doing. Like, his ult really sucks. I know I said Bojack was the worst, but it like Cell's is down there. So Cell goes in C, because C is for Cell. Right next to him, I'm gonna put Samas. Samas used to be a very annoying tank, very oppressive, regenerating at like a lot of regeneration. It was because it was the bar and slowing you down and all of this. But hey, some free-to-play characters just can't get very far, and this is for Samaz. Samaz just can't cut it. You can't cut it with the other tanks because like the other tanks are just better, because like Vegeta can stop all of these other DPSs, forcing them to play his game. Same thing with Bardock, same thing with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. He pushes them away to make sure that these like your other teammates can do what they got to do. And going as far as to the other worst tank that is still good cooler, be it I jumped over Khalifa. Khalifa doing kind of what Bardock does at a smaller scale, but still being able to be a tank and forcing them in towards her while your teammates do their job. And Cooler being the worst at doing, you know, what they're doing at pushing or bringing in, but still stopping the enemy. Samaz just can't do anything. Samaz has no DPS, while every other character has DPS and better regeneration skills, just better skills, whether it's Bardock doing less damage or Vegeta with the armor regeneration with Super Saiyan or God. I don't know, it's just Samaz can regenerate, but it just takes a while compared to them. It's just not worth it. If you like Samaz, go ahead and pick him, but I mean, can't be worse than Baby, right? I thought Baby was cool because Baby has the ability to go inside of you, pause, and heal his teammate. Not only that, with the attack that he be doing, he could slow down the enemy. That way you could go in if you are playing like Broly or Super Saiyan Goku when you want to go scrap, topple when you want to go right in their face. But we're hitting the point of the meta where I think it's very important to have your teammates out. You know, it's not like before where you could just go in and deal damage. Now you have these Keflas running around. You have these Super Saiyan God Gokus and Oobs running around that have this like very insane range. And like, what's the whole point if they could heal you, but you can't heal because you're not doing any damage? So that's what's wrong with Baby. Just Baby is just like he's just not good. He's very niche if you want to run him with Broly. Him and Broly do pair up together with him slowing them down and Broly having his like big punch to slow them down too, but it's just not enough. I would prefer to have a tank that's actually there supporting me and being a tank, not going inside of me and healing and then fucking dying, like, you know. And then Frieza just got outclassed. He's fast, he's annoying. He used to be very good at farming and getting objectives, but now you need something else that's better, because like, yeah, you could farm and get objectives, but what's the whole point of farming and getting objectives and leveling up if you get shit on by everybody else on top of this tier list right here? Shit on by, oh, maybe not Tavo and Broly. I mean, Frieza's fast as shit. Shit on by Kefla, shit on by Vegeta, Bardock, Goku, Oob, Goku, maybe Vegeta because a teammate. This Goku shits on him if he gets too close to a fight. Ultimate Gohan. Broly, if he really does get the stomps on him and punches him. Khalifa pulls him in, fucks him up. Cooler can slow him down. See, I'm probably skipping like Krillin because Krillin can't really, but like overall, Frieza's just getting like dogged on. He's not what he used to be. He's still kind of annoying. He can still farm and he can still take objectives. I mean, that's all I can say about Frieza. I don't really like Frieza as much. I would prefer not to have a Frieza on my team. And D's for Dabura. We could end the video right here, but at least I'm gonna give Dabura a reason of why I'm shitting on him. Dabura is very strong, having to his giving enemies meter much faster than he used to before, and whenever their meter was maxed, they would turn into stone and he would do crazy damage. That is scary. It is very scary fighting Dabura in a 1v1, and I told my friend, and I said, I really do think Dabura can 1v1 a lot of the cast. He could 1v1 a bunch of these, the characters that are right here, and probably win. And I still stand by that. The problem is, this is not a 1v1 game. You can be put in 1v1 scenarios, but if you're smart enough, either you run away, or you just outrange them. Kefla can't do shit to, like, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, but it's just, no. People realize this is how you beat Dabura. This is how you play against Dabura. You literally just go with your friend or you just beat it. Like, he doesn't have the damage output. Yeah, he doesn't really, like, there's a team fight, he could probably knock down one or turn one to rock. Turn one enemy to stone. But if the other three go in and hit the jump and like jump his ass and hit them legs, Dabura is done for. So Dabura is still, he got buffed, but it's meaningless, you know? It kind of fucking sucks. But this is my tier list. whether you agree with it or you don't. This is the tier list that I put here. You know what? I'm still super generous for Broly, putting him in S tier, but I'd probably be putting him in A tier. And then we have Boo, but we know nothing for him. But this is the tier list for right now for Gekishin Squadron that I have. If you have anything that you want to say where you think I'm wrong, or you'd be like, oh, you might have forgotten this about this character and you could bump him up, or you know, like, oh yeah, but this character is actually not as good, and bump him down. If you wanna bump down or bump up some characters, you go ahead and tell me down in the comments, because I would like to read them, and I would like to see how you think about these characters. But yeah, it's been your boy Tyga. I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list that I made, and hope you agreed or disagreed. It's perfectly fine. This is just an opinion. Like, subscribe, it helps me out a bunch. Peace.